standing here in front of the dyno, actually the computer of the dynograph of Ed Hinker's 2007 SALEEN Extreme. What we did is we did an upgrade to the new Ford Racing throttle body, who is ACCUFAB actually produces it, but it's exclusively to Ford Racing. Well, we did, as you can see, we did a number of pulls. We got over the past year with Ed's car about 14 pulls on it. So it's been very consistent. It's been making about 530 to 542 to the tire. Well, this is the first pull without the throttle body when we put it on the dyno today. Well, after a few pulls adjusting to the throttle body, we wind up coming up with the new horsepower numbers with the new Ford Racing throttle body, which, as you can see here, is significantly different. I mean, you're talking without the throttle body 537 to the tire, with the throttle body 563. But if you see the curve up here up top, it's unbelievable. It actually picked up both horsepower and torque. I'll put the cursor on it so you can see it. You know, when you're looking, you got 510 horsepower, you got 557. I mean, and that's at 6,600 RPMs. Air fuel, you can see it's still the same, 11.6 to 11.7. It actually picked up another 40 foot-pounds of torque too. So you picked up, 47, 48 horsepower, and you picked up 40 foot-pounds of torque, all up in the upper RPMs. Now, I take these cars to 6,800 RPMs because they're built motors, they're extremes. The rev limiter from the factory, 65, we raised them to 6,800. So you figure for a $529 investment, you're picking up 50 horsepower on extreme. Now let me explain something to you. The SALEEN intake manifold, the opening has to be ported a little bit. I mean, nothing that a little Dremel tool or something we do here all the time. Well, we had to port it because the opening, the butterflies in the Ford Racing throttle body is a 62 millimeter versus the 58 millimeter factory ones. So it's a huge difference. So definitely worth the money. I mean, almost 50 horsepower gain on a SALEEN Extreme Mustang.
Okay, we're here at JDM Engineering and showing Biggs a little bit about porting the upper lid on the SALEEN Supercharger to accept an aftermarket throttle body, whether it be the new Ford Racing dual throttle body or an aftermarket single blade. We usually have the problem where the throttle blades will either hit the sides of the bore, or if they don't do that, you'll see a lot of this obstruction beyond the throttle body. Not only that, the gasket area is exposed through the larger bore of the new throttle body. So what we do, if you look at this one, we cut that whole area out. This is more than large enough for any aftermarket throttle body. What we do for a gasket, we'll just make a paper gasket, which works fine with any other application. It improves the flow considerably. It opens it up probably about 15 to 20%, and we definitely get a lot more flow, a lot more horsepower out of it.
Thank you, Sean.
Thanks, Big.